The top stories tonight in Y News. United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin vows commitment to the Philippines under the Mutual Defense Treaty. The Commission on Election eyes to lease new automated counting machines for the 2025 national and local or midterm elections. The Department of Health eyes measures including amending certain laws on medical professionals to address the shortage of healthcare workers in the country. And Moscow's fuel depot caught fire in an apparent series of drone attacks allegedly carried out by Ukrainian forces. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, the 4th of May, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am William Theo. First in the news. The United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin welcomed President Marcos Jr. with full honors at the Pentagon. In their meeting, the Defense Secretary expressed his country's commitment to the defense of the Philippines. Nel Maribohok reports.
The United States and the Philippines promised to deepen their defense alliance through expanded military drills and joint patrols during President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s visit at the Pentagon. During their meeting at the Pentagon, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin reiterated his country's commitment to the Philippines under the Mutual Defense Treaty.
As President Biden has made clear, our commitment to the defense of the Philippines is ironclad. Let me say once again that our Mutual Defense Treaty applies to armed attacks on our armed forces, Coast Guard vessels, public vessels, or aircraft in the Pacific, including anywhere in the South China Sea.
Austin told PBBM that the U.S. will always have the Philippines back.
So make no mistake, Mr. President, we will always have your back in the South China Sea or elsewhere in the region.
President Marcos Jr., on the other hand, told U.S. officials that he looks forward to a very bright future between the two longtime allies.
And the call of the times, unfortunately, is asking for us to meet these new challenges that perhaps we have not faced before.
During their meeting, both leaders discussed plans to swiftly operationalize the 4 new Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or EDCA sites in northern Luzon and Palawan. They also discussed ways to coordinate more closely with like-minded nations, including Australia and Japan, to strengthen shared principles including the rule of law, freedom of the seas, and respect for territorial sovereignty. PBBM was welcomed by the defense chief at the Pentagon with full military honors prior to the meeting. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections, or Comelec, will lease new automated counting machines, or ACMs, in the 2025 national and local midterm elections. Dante Amento tells us why.
Commission on Elections, or Comelec Chairman George Erwin Garcia said the old vote counting machines, or VCMs, that were purchased by the poll body are already defective. It might also be hard to be refurbished, and some of the hardware may no longer available in the market. During the 2022 national and local elections, over 1,600 VCMs malfunctioned.
Yung 98,000 na machines na meron po ang Comelec ay hindi na po talaga magagamit yung iba doon. Hindi naman po lahat, aaminin natin. Subalit, hindi rin po namin gustong ipagbakasakali na gamitin sapagkat ayaw naman nating masisi ang Commission on Elections.
Hence, the Commission decided to lease new automated counting machines, and this time will be faster in terms of transmission and with more new additional features. Garcia added, they will let go of the old machines and have more technologically advanced machines for the succeeding polls.
Yung speed, dati mabagal yung ganyan. Ang gusto po namin 200 millimeters per second yung speed ng machine. At the same time, may makikita po kayo, screen. Nakita niyo po yung screen dati, ganyang kaliit. Ngayon po, ang gusto namin 12-inch na screen. Kung meron magsusupply sa amin ng 18-inch na screen, mas maganda.
The Comelec will open the bidding for manufacturers that are capable of providing those features ideal for fully automated elections. Meanwhile, the poll body is optimistic to get the support of the legislative and executive over this proposal, especially since it is the president himself who wants to use technology for efficient electoral exercises in the country. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Philippine National Police, or PNP, confirmed that country's crime rate has dropped by 11.36% in the first quarter of this year. PNP Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Red Maranan said a total of 12,226 crime incidents were recorded from January 1st to May 2nd, 2023, as compared to 13,763 crimes in the same period last year.
So nakapagbaba tayo ng 1,500 plus na krimen at yan po ay yung mga 8 focus crime. Kaya nakikita natin yung ating mga different anti-criminality strategies, nakikita naman natin na ito po ay epektibo.
The 8 focus crimes include murder, homicide, physical injury, robbery, theft, vehicle theft, motorcycle theft, and rape. Colonel Maranan said that under PNP Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr.'s leadership, the PNP will deploy policemen in barangays identified by the local police forces as crime-prone areas as part of their anti-criminality campaign. Meanwhile, the Department of Migrant Workers confirms that some firms from the United States and Saudi Arabia are willing to hire displaced overseas Filipino workers from Sudan. Janice and Gente will tell us why.
Over 500 overseas Filipino workers who evacuated from war-torn Sudan are now returning to the Philippines. Displaced overseas Filipinos in Sudan said they don't know how to start their lives here in the country since they don't have any jobs.
Magpapahinga muna kasi yung andun pa yung yung heavy sa pakiramdam, pagod puyat sa pag-travel. Hindi namin alam pa mag-a-apply siguro ulit. Mahirap magsimula dito sa Philippines. Alam naman natin yung salary range, yung taxes. Very fortunate naman kami na tinulungan nila kami.
Wala pa kaming definite plan. We're trying to think of options. Kung may option abroad, makaka-apply ulit.
According to the Department of Migrant Workers Secretary Susan Ople, they are now in talks with some international firms to hire displaced OFWs from Sudan. She added that there are American firms that are willing to see the profile of skilled Filipino workers who fled Sudan.
There are employers in the U.S. and also in the cruise ship industry and in Saudi Arabia that are very much interested and would like to see the profiles of our workers from Sudan. Yung nakausap namin, top employers yon. Ang sabi nung nasa cruise ship industry and labor attaché Seoul will provide you with the names.
Aside from the United States, Secretary Ople said that there are employers from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia who show interest in hiring Filipino workers from Sudan. Ople said they are now preparing the profiling of displaced OFWs to know their skills and what jobs can be offered.
We need to give them time to rest and then kukunin namin yung profiles nila. There were some workers who told me that they're interested to work elsewhere. Not in Sudan. May mga nagsabi naman sa akin na their companies have branches in other countries.
Initially, the returning Filipinos from Sudan will receive a total of 100,000 pesos in humanitarian assistance from different agencies of the government to start their lives in the country. Janice Enhente, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippines is now exporting eggs to Taiwan. The national government assures that they will find ways to help exporters and egg producers in facilitating the exportation. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
More than 4 million eggs were already shipped to Taiwan last month, according to Gregorio San Diego, the chairman of the Philippine Egg Board. Taiwan is experiencing shortage due to the effect of bird flu and high production costs. San Diego said that the Philippines actually reduced the production of eggs, but there is now low demand, resulting in a surplus. Egg producers are now limiting the feeding of their chicken layers to reduce production.
Malaking bagay na yung sa mabulong ka na egg dito, kahit mura ka, ibenta mo.
In Kadiwa store in Quezon City, prices have gone down. Consumers can now buy a large-sized egg for more than 8 pesos each.
Mas umano po ngayon. Tsaka lalo na't bumaba na gustuhan ng mga customer natin, binabalikan pa po.
Dahil yun naman araw-araw nagagamit din ng mga pagkain-kain ng mga lahat. Kailangan importante meron mo itlog mas madali yung lutuin.
The Department of Agriculture will help facilitate the exportation of eggs.
Tinitingnan natin na kailangan bumaba ang presyo ng mga taxes and other incidentals pagdating sa export para hindi po kailangan magbagsak ng presyo ang ating producers. Because if that will happen, it will defeat the purpose of opening these export opportunities.
DA is also finding ways to extend the shelf life of eggs, such as making powdered and hard-boiled egg. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for our news abroad, France and Japan have signed a nuclear cooperation agreement in Paris to accelerate the research and development of next-generation nuclear reactors. Nadessa Dando details why live. Good evening, Nadessa.
Good evening, Giona. French Energy Minister Agnes Pannier-Runacher met with Yasutoshi Nishimura, Japan's Minister of Trade, Economy and Industry on Wednesday, May 4, to affirm the two countries' new energy and climate framework. The mutual pledges call for cooperation between governments and private companies for the decommissioning of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. This after the Group of Seven or G7's meeting in Sapporo last month, where ministers discussed the relaunch of nuclear energy in Japan to meet the increasing need for power supply without a spike in emissions. Nishimura highlights Japan's investment of 46 billion yen, or around $314 million over 3 years, starting from April 2024, for building small modular reactors and sodium-cooled fast reactors. However, critics questions the feasibility of the plan after Japan scrapped the failed Monju fast breeder reactor prototype, while France did not go ahead with its own research project on similar technology. Earlier this year, France also signed a bilateral agreement with Britain to reduce dependence on Russia as an energy source. Back to you, Giona.
Thank you, Nadessa, for that live report. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Thank you, Giona. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The Bureau of Immigration, or BI, disclosed that a couple who are victims of human trafficking to Thailand have returned to the country. The victims experienced physical abuse, threats, and even starvation as consequences for not reaching their quota as love scammers. They were recruited in October 2022, and the male immigration officer allegedly facilitated their departure. BI Commissioner Norman Tansinko said The immigration officer has been removed from his post and an administrative case is set to be filed against him. The Bureau always reminds the public to be cautious, especially in going abroad for work. Meanwhile, the Department of Health confirms a shortage of healthcare workers in the country. In order to fill the demand, the department is looking into several measures, including amending certain laws on medical professionals. Eileen Cerudo will tell us why.
Department of Health or DOH officer in charge Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere has said there are services including administering vaccinations that other medical professionals can do. During the House Committee on Appropriations hearing, the official said easing some laws on medical professionals might help in resolving the shortage of nurses in the country.
If we can be able to have this kind of laws revised as to how we can be appropriately allocate the services para ma-spread po natin yung mga trabaho na pwedeng gawin, hindi lang talaga nurses ang kailangan.
Yes. According to the DOH, there is a 14,000 gap out of over 150,000 demand for doctors, while the gap for nurses reaches 127,000. Vergere said it would take 12 years to meet the shortfall for nurses, while 23 years for doctors. Aside from amending laws, the DOH is also looking into tapping nurses who have not yet passed the board exams.
Ang initial po namin, itap namin yung mga underboard na nurses because in the recent board exams ng nurses, almost 60% po yata ay hindi pumasa. So we are now encouraging them to apply sa DOH and we will be hiring them.
The department in return would provide guide and assistance to these nurses for them to pass the boards. Vergere also added that the department seeks to open more plantilla positions in government hospitals to solve the demand for healthcare workers.
Kasi mas marami na hong JOs ngayon minsan ang permanent positions natin. And hindi ho namin sila ma-retain for long because after 6 months their contracts expired.
Lawmakers support these measures. Several of them are also looking into mandating Filipino doctors and nurses to work in the country for a year. Eileen Cerudo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Moscow's fuel depot, strategically located near Crimean Peninsula, caught fire in an apparent series of drone attacks allegedly carried out by Ukrainian forces. Jane Robles details the report live. Good evening, Jane.
Good evening, Giona. State media outlets have reported that a Ukrainian drone had fallen in a Russian oil storage, causing fire. Reports say the fire was huge as large fumes of black smoke billow from the oil depot that was strategically located near the Kerch Bridge. The Kerch connected Russia with the Crimean Peninsula that was seized from Ukraine in 2014. Meanwhile, Moscow stated that 2 Ukrainian drones had struck the Kremlin Wednesday, the same day that Russian fuel depot caught fire. No casualties were reported and Ukraine has denied the attack. Drone strikes have also severely affected an airport near Bryansk region after reports of derailed train carrying fuel toward the front lines have occurred. According to military analyst Nico Lange, the latest string of drone attacks is focused on targeting Russian supplies as the country readies itself for an offensive assault to retake occupied territories in southern Ukraine. Meanwhile, Ukraine forces said it had shot down 21 Shahed drones when Moscow launched 26 of its Iranian-made drones overnight. Back to you, Giona.
Thank you, Jane, for that live report. 3 members of the Huaita Tribe going against planned megacity face the death penalty in Saudi Arabia. Paul Gatchalian details why live. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Giona.
Due to their ties with opposition of the megacity development by the Red Sea, 3 members of the Huaita Tribe are facing death sentence, a decision the United Nations or UN rights experts have denounced. The 3 are facing death sentences after refusing to be evicted from the northwestern Saudi region where the $500 billion megacity by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is to be constructed. They were sentenced to death in August last year, with their appeals being upheld back in January. However, the UN rights experts claim the 3 have not displayed actions that meet the criteria for the death penalty. 3 other members of the Huaita Tribe are facing lengthy jail times lasting from 27 to 50 years in prison, with all 6 being charged under 2017 anti-terrorism laws. Meanwhile, the megacity project has raised many concerns regarding the illegal evictions of tribe members by Saudi authorities and for the prosecution inflicted on those who are peacefully defending their homes. Back to you, Giona.
Thank you, Paul, for that live report. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Giona Pravado, live from London, United Kingdom. Good evening.
In coordination with the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, has determined the areas where fisherfolk of Oriental Mindoro can fish. Fisherfolk from affected towns such as Pola, Nawan, and Calapan City can fish in the municipal waters of Gasan and Boac in Marinduque, as well as Tayabas Bay. The fishermen in the towns of Bansud, Gloria, and Pinamalayan can go to the municipal waters of Concepcion in Romblon and parts of the Mindoro Strait. From the towns of Bongabong, Bulalakaw, and Mansalay and Rojas, fishermen can go fishing in San Jose and Mansalay in Occidental Mindoro and Tablas Strait, while fishermen in Baco and San Teodoro can fish in Palawan, Abra de Ilog, Tayabas Bay, and Mindoro Strait. According to Oriental Mindoro Governor Humerlito Dolor, the gas subsidy will be distributed simultaneously in each town. But what is more important, he said, is that their citizens can gradually return to fishing in their municipal waters. That's why he consulted with different government agencies on this matter. He said the final decision will be out on Monday.
At Lunes po ay i-aanunsyo ko na ang desisyon. Pag pinagkaloob ng Panginoon, naway maibalik na ulit natin ang pangingisda sa mga lugar na aming tutukuyin. Okay? Sa lugar na aming tutukuyin. Kaya kayo ay mag-aabang sa anunsyo ko sa Lunes umaga. Meron pa rin akong restriction. Kung meron man kaming payagan, yun po yung ayon sa pag-aaral ay dahan-dahan ng ligtas. Pero for the meantime, wala pa pong anunsyo. For the meantime, sinasabi ko sa inyo na sa Lunes, meron po akong anunsyong gagawin.
In other news, 3 members of the New People's Army were killed yesterday in the clash that happened in the province of Cagayan and Kalinga. Grace Flores will tell us why.
3 rebels were killed in consecutive encounters between the Army and the New People's Army, or NPA, in Santa Teresita, Cagayan and Kalinga yesterday, May 3. According to Major Rigor Pamitan, Chief of the Division Public Affairs Office of the 5th Infantry Division, Philippine Army, the members of the 95th Infantry Battalion, which were carrying out military operations, first encountered about 20 members of the Cagayan and Isabela Provincial Committee in Situ Bigok, Alucao, Santa Teresita, Cagayan. 2 of the rebels were killed and 2 R4 rifles, 1 M16 rifle and 1 M653 rifle were recovered.
Sa initial na report po ng tropa ay umabot nga po ng around 15 minutes na palitan ng putok yung naging sagupaan. Well, sa estimate po ng tropa natin sa ground, nasa mahigit kumulang po na 20 kataong miyembro ng Comprog Cagayan sa Pela po.
The clash lasted 1 hour before the 20 members of Comprov Cagayan and Comprov Isabela Regional Committee Cagayan Valley withdrew towards the southeast direction, leaving the two companions who died in the fight.
Well, dun sa dalawang nasawi nga po, ang isa pa lang po na nakilala, pero yung mga further details niya po ay for confirmation pa po itong si alias Morga na nakilala siya nung mga former rebels natin na ito nga pong namatay o nasawi ay si alias Morga na isang babaeng member ng Comprov Isabela Cagayan.
Meanwhile, the second encounter was recorded between the 50th Infantry Battalion of the 503rd Infantry Brigade and NPA communist terrorists who are members of the Bagas Guerrilla Field Committee, Locos Cordillera Regional Committee, which resulted in the death of an NPA terrorist and the recovery of an M16 rifle. According to Pamitan, every resident has a great role in completely eradicating the presence of NPA terrorists not only in Santa Teresita but in the whole province of Cagayan. In such events, the area where the terrorist group operates continues to be constrained, so the official encourages the remaining rebels to return to the government. Currently, the clearing operation of the 501st Infantry Brigade continues in the encounter that happened yesterday in Sitio Bigok, Barangay Alucao, Santa Teresita, Cagayan, which resulted in the deaths of 2 NPA terrorists. Grace Flores, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, is exploring the possibility of engaging the services of other government agencies to supply plastic cards for driver's licenses. Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista is talking to the National Printing Office on their technical capability to supply plastic cards. The department is also looking into discussions with the APA Production Unit, which is also a printing arm of the government for the same purpose. The competitive bidding of DOTR's Bids Awards Committee for the procurements of plastic cards is still ongoing and set to close by May 24, 2023. It can be recalled that the Land Transportation Officer LTO declared that supply of plastic cards will be depleted by the end of April, resulting to printed driver's license on a piece of paper. Some netizens express frustration after discovering that some media files have become unavailable on the Messenger app. A netizen tweeted that Meta should have at least announced the sudden disappearance of the media files in Messenger. Messenger media files, including photos and videos, have become unavailable today, May 4. It also is unclear whether the glitch is unique to users in the Philippines. Last Tuesday, May 2nd, users also encountered issues accessing the app. Messenger and its parent company Meta have yet to release a statement on the said issue. British-Canadian indie singer Matt Maltese is excited for his upcoming Asian Tour concert live in Manila on May 22, 2023. This will be his first visit and performance in the country. According to Matt, he is thrilled to see his Filipino fans and hear his songs. Some of his well-known songs are As the World Caves In, Crystal, Everyone Adores You, and others. Aside from the concert, Matt would also like to visit famous places in the Philippines and listen to some original Filipino music.
I think I'd like to do probably about 15 to 20 songs. I'd like to do older songs from earlier in my catalog that people might not have heard before. But yeah, I'd like to do a set that really captures the last 6-7 years, definitely.
The Matt Maltese Live in Manila concert is presented by Midas Production and co-produced by KDR Music House. It will be held at the Samsung Hall SM Aura premiere in Bonifacio Global City, Taguig on May 22nd at 8 p.m.
Hello, I'm Matt Maltese, and I will be playing in the Philippines in Manila on the 22nd of May, and look forward to hopefully seeing you there.
For ticket reservations, please contact SM Ticket Outlets or visit smticket.com. The Wish 107.5 FM radio station was chosen as the most innovative FM broadcasting and media production at the National Customers' Choice Annual Awards, or NCAA and CCAA, in the year 2022 to 2023. DJ Ray Holiday accepted the said award at the Grand Ballroom City of Dreams, Parañaque City in Manila on April 26, 2023. NCCAA is an annual award-giving body that recognizes and awards unique top-ranked products, individuals, personalities, companies, and brands chosen and voted by customers in the Philippines. Our Kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God, from the book of Proverbs chapter 11, verse 27. It says, "He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him." Those are the reasons behind the news, May 4, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.